I'm joined here with Mark Leslie Lefebvre, publisher, and Peter C. Mitchell, author of Rude Awakenings from Sleeping Rough, which documents your time living on the streets of London. So, for somebody who doesn't quite know, can you give some background into this book?
What it is, it's a recounting of my experiences with homelessness, and particularly with the charities. And that proved more horrific than the homelessness itself. It started because basically they clued in I was a great writer, and they thought, wow, this is someone who can do great writing promoting us. And I didn't, because my main concern was doing the job, and my career back in Canada was writing. So I didn't, and it very quickly snowballed into pure abuse on their part. They forced me into housing I didn't actually need. They lied every step of the way. And then when I found out the truth, because I started asking questions of the right people, started threatening me with not direct threats, but implying that I was breaching data security laws, data information laws, and could be charged with that. It was merciless. It was relentless. It drove me to the point of suicide at one point. And then once I got into the housing, that just opened up a whole new world, because they all promote housing as the solution to this. And it's not. Housing itself is actually worse than being homeless. For the better part of a year, I still spent more time sleeping on the streets than I did in the housing I was forced into, for the very simple reason it was safer.
What can readers really expect with this book?
A hard read. It was very difficult to write for obvious reasons, because it was harsh experiences I was expanding on. And it's also, in one sense, not reflective of me as a person. I'm actually very happy-go-lucky, a total slacker. And the kind of writing I enjoy is, I like writing about the human condition, but in the positive ways, and more often than not by poking fun at myself. Um, and in a sense, a bit of that came through in the book.
When I got the manuscript from Peter and I sat down to read it, he warned me what it was going to be like, but it didn't it didn't quite cover the fact that I was here in my middle class dream, sort of living the dream, comfortable, safe. And this person I cared so much about, this friend of mine, had been going through these really, really dark things. So it is not an easy book to read, but I think it's an important book for people to read.
You mentioned this, you want the people to see the behind the scenes of the charity and what happened. So, would you say that's one of the biggest things that you would want readers to take away?
Yes, definitely the biggest thing. And what I would want them to do is, in one sense, whatever the country, because from what I understand, these experiences are fairly universal, to contact their relevant government MPs and demand, I suppose, an inquiry into the whole charity process, demand stricter regulation, demand greater accountability, definitely greater transparency, and easier for victims of abuse within the charities to take legal action against them.
And if anyone is looking, where can they find the book or other social media that you might have?
This book is available in paperback. It's available in hardcover. It is available through Ingram, the world's largest wholesaler. So you're not going to find it on bookstore shelves, because it was independently published, self-published, just to get the story out there. The ebook is available on every major platform. So, here in Canada, it's on Kobo, it's on Apple Books, it's on Kindle, it's on Barnes & Noble Nook. You can find the ebook on Chapters Indigo. You can also order it through your local independent bookstore, which is what I recommend people do, because they can order it in. And we set the prices in such a way to try to use this not just as a messaging for getting the story out there, especially for not everyone is in Peter's position that actually still is able to convey the horror of what's going on for so many people. So sharing that story and helping people understand that. But obviously, the majority of the funding on the sales are going to help Peter as he climbs out of this hole.
Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine.